Lesson 5. Greetings, brothers and sisters. I am Ola. I wanted to talk to you about another interesting topic related to meditation, including the important benefits that can be achieved through meditation, how it improves daily life, how it stabilizes the mind, how it eliminates fear, how it helps a person distance themselves from the mediocrity that surrounds them, how it brings them closer to divine energy, the effect it has on personality and relationships with others, and on health. It also greatly improves health. The body achieves harmony, the mind reaches the energy level required to maintain health, and all of it is beneficial. Let's begin. Health is maintained as a result of keeping in balance between the different components that make up your human being. The mind plays an important role of organizing and controlling the other components that compose you. In the control center, which is in this case is the mind and resides in the brain, is not well, it is clear that if the mind is not well, the brain will not function properly either, and the body's health will deteriorate rapidly. Similarly, the emotional aspect functions better when everything is in harmony. This harmony is achieved when your mind is in harmony with the universe. At the same time, through this mental harmony with the universe, you return the energy that the universe has given you, creating a closed circuit. This is the source of happiness, the circulation of energy. Similarly, the body maintains its health if the control center, in this case the mind, functions properly. There may be health problems in the physical body, but if the mind is properly harmonized, it can minimize the health problem and over time achieve healing. An important aspect for achieving this healing of the physical body is food intake. We must be appropriate for your physical condition and for your body and mind. Sometimes the body needs yang energy and sometimes yin energy. Yang energy is needed to recover from a state of great weakness, while yin is used for, to put it simply, vegetarian food. Yang food is usually food of animal origin, which has a high energy content but is sometimes quite impure, as it contains many toxins. It is advisable to avoid it, especially if you are meditating. You will realize this when you see the effects of consuming animal protein, especially low-quality protein like meat. Having said this about the energy of the physical body's health, if harmony is lacking, illnesses appear first in the physical body, sometimes and then occasionally in the mental body, in the brain. Healing this mental illness is not simple. First, you must gain insight into the reality that surrounds you. As soon as you gain this insight, you will lose your fear. Fear is the source of mental illness. Distrust of your surroundings produces pain. These are defensive feelings against your environment, and ultimately they produce imbalance. The healing process is simple but long. You have to climb out of that hole you're in. That hole, that fear of your surroundings has put you in. As soon as the fear disappears, the true healing process begins. The energy of the universe enters you, and you can feel it more easily, and then it begins to govern your actions. It merges with a positive mental energy that begins to recover, and then mental illnesses as such disappear. Later, in other lessons, I will offer some recipes, methods, and procedures for cases where people have mental illnesses or mental disorders. We should say those originating from imbalance. I will explain what needs to be done to reach that balance. The sick person, so to speak, has opened the door to the energy of the Father, to the universe, and this energy takes effect. If the sick person is generous enough to accept it and begin to realize that the reality they believe in does not exist, that fear is false. That fear only produces pain. Mental balance appears, and the balance in the physical body improves, and the illness disappears. I will give a few brief points about what people with mental disorders should do. First, they should meditate to a level that is not too deep. If it is deep, even better. The state they reach will depend on their mental state. If they are in a bad state, it will be a shallow state. If they are not in a bad state, they will be able to reach a deep state. You already know how to take deep breaths until you feel your heartbeat. When you are in that state, try not to think about time. For those of you who are experienced, try to think with your right hemisphere. For those who don't know how to think by choosing one hemisphere or the other, it's quite simple. Just concentrate on your surroundings. Your eyes are closed, but try to perceive everything. Then think that time doesn't exist. You're simply there observing, and little by little your perspective will change. You'll feel the beauty of your surroundings, the energy of the universe around you. At first, you won't notice the change in perception, but the more you do it, say 10 or 15 minutes per session, while at a medium deep level, you'll reach the moment when it becomes possible. You feel that time isn't passing. At that instant, your right hemisphere will be working. It will have taken control. For those who don't know about this, I'll tell you that the right hemisphere is a hemisphere of artists. That's why when an artist creates art, whether it's music, painting, or any other artistic activity, this means that creation is using the right hemisphere of your brain, and in that case, anyone doing that activity will say that time doesn't pass. They can do it for 7, 8, 10, or 12 hours straight without getting tired. Time has stopped. There is no perception of time. Well, when you have reached this moment where the right hemisphere has taken control, you can begin to lose the feeling of fear that grips your mind. The ego will try to rebel against this elimination of fear because fear makes it strong. You just have to insist on breaking the fear. Once the barrier has fallen, the fear will disappear, and then the mind will open to the universe. And since there is no fear, the universe will offer you the plan it has for you. These are always good things for your benefit, and your creative mind will harmonize with the physical body and the energetic body. Everything will form a unity, and then you will be fully a conscious human being, without fear and totally free. In broad strokes, that would be the process. Later, in subsequent lessons, I will explain a method to reach that state. But essentially, as I said, it's just a matter of persisting with the method until the barrier gradually falls. Once the barrier has fallen, the goal will be achieved. Fear will have disappeared and you will be free, with no trauma to hold you back. More or less, everyone has some kind of mental issue. With this method I'm describing, besides achieving freedom, you will also achieve harmony. And with harmony, problems begin to disappear and resolve themselves. You just need faith because everything improves with time and everything happens for our own good. You just need the right mindset to observe it. As soon as you have that mindset, fear disappears and you can break the vicious circle that prevents you from overcoming it. This is achieved through meditation by opening your mind to the universe, and fear will disappear on its own. The ego will be left without weapons to hold you back, and you will be free. I think that's enough for today. In later lessons, I repeat, we will address this topic because it's important. Until next time, brother.